Mahaprabhu in Mahavana. That. Does anybody remember?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I think we are somewhere near 80 page number.
80? Okay. Yeah. This boat is broken. You're right, Mataji. Thank you. Right. I offer my Mahavana. We have read it. Mahavana. Black Swan. Nanda performed all the rituals of birth of Krishna. Yeah, the milk teeth of Lord Krishna blessing us. Yes, we have done this one. Okay, I think this is where. If. Yep. Is this good? 80? We'll start from 80. The following descriptions. Yes, please. Somebody can start.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hari Hari.
Yashoda, the following descriptions are also taken from Padyavali. When Nandana was 5 years old, he was very restless as he played in the compound of Nanda. His eyes were covered with tufts of curly hair, and he was decorated with bangles, nupura, ankle bells, and necklaces. The gopis would try to stop his crying by kissing his lips, pressing their necks on his, looking into his beautiful eyes, touching their foreheads to his, and then eagerly holding him to their breasts for a long time. May that Lord Krishna, who in this situation was absorbed in the mood of Cupid, his body motionless, covered with goosebumps, and decorated with a gentle smile, be our protector.
Lord Krishna also has Ashtasattvic Vikar, not only the devotees, but he also has. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
Vanamali Krishna used to give pleasure to the newly wedded gopis while playing on his father's lap. When Yashoda asked him, "How much fresh butter have you taken today?" Krishna held the breast of Dhanishta while saying, "This much." May that Krishna be our protector. Hey Kauri, thief, Chauri, thief, where are you going? We can easily see what an ecstatic mood you are in. You are trying to take away my ball by hiding it in your blouse. Come on, give it back. Saying this, he could forcefully massage the breast of the newly married gopi girls. That Lord Keshava, whose body looks very charming, decorated with his hair standing on end, is conquering Gokula in this way.
Yes,
I sing the glories of Lord Krishna's childhood pastimes. While crawling toward a vessel full of cream, he continually turned his face, looking here and there, fearful of being caught by his mother. During his sleep, Krishna used to call the demigods, which made Yashoda very anxious. "Oh Shiva, welcome. Please sit down here. Oh Brahma, please sit on my left side. Oh Kartikeya, are you well? Oh Indra, are you happy? Where you have been, Kuvera? I have not seen you here." When Mother Yashoda heard her child speaking like this in his sleep, he said, "My dear child, why are you saying all these unearthly things?" Then, to free him from evil spirits, she put saliva on the child. It was
Yes.
It was here that Yashoda used to tell the story of Rama to Krishna. While she put him to sleep, Yashoda said there was a king named Rama. Yes, said Krishna eagerly. The name of his wife was Sita. Mother Yashoda continued. When he went to the forest of Panchavati on his father's
Yeah, I'm looking to see where are these pastimes. These are all. Where is this story going on after Trinavarta? This is all Mahavana. That's where they lived. So that's where the story is going on to. Lord Krishna hearing about Lord Rama. Yeah.
father Ravana kidnapped his wife. Hearing the stories of his previous pastimes, Krishna became restless and said, "O Lakshmana, where are my bow and arrows? May these excited lips of Krishna protect you."
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
There are similar pastimes, when we read Chaitanya Charitamrita. Gauranga Mahaprabhu also, when he hears certain pastimes, then he would also enter into the pastimes, into the mood of the pastimes. And then he would shout and act out too. For us, it looks like shouting and acting out, but he would actually be in that pastime. And one of those examples was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Narsimha Leela. When he was hearing about Narsimhadev, he was hearing with such an absorption. He was very furious in the mood of Narsimhadev, and he was chasing somebody on the street. So people could not understand that. And there was one more pastime where he was absorbed in the pastimes of Raja. There he was saying, instead of Krishna, Krishna, because he was saying Gopi, Gopi, because he's again Krishna in the mood of Radharani. So people around, they were just in external consciousness. They would not understand what the heart of God is. So they could not understand the position of Mahaprabhu. So they started taking him lightly. Then Gauranga Mahaprabhu decided that he should change his ashrama from grahastha to sannyasa. Because in those day and age, sannyasa, even now too, sannyasa, ashrama, they are given a lot of respect and authority. So in order to save these general people who would not understand his internal mood, in order to save them from committing any aparadha against him or against the pastimes, he changed the ashrama to sannyasa. So that way, whatever he says and whatever he does would be respected, not just minimized and put away as they do in grahastha ashrama. Yeah, so those are Gaura's pastimes where he was acting out also. Here, Lord Krishna is now in the mood of Ramachandra. Yes, please, somebody hearing the stories.
Hey Krishna. Hearing the stories of his previous pastimes, Krishna became restless and said, "O Lakshmana, where are my bow and arrows? May these excited words of Krishna protect you." When Krishna was still awake, Mother Yashoda said, "The evening is coming to an end now, dear. Why are you not sleeping?" "Oh, Mother, I cannot sleep," replied Krishna. "All right, dear, listen to another wonderful story, which will make you sleep," said Yashoda. "Yes, please tell me," answered Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, I wanted to mention one more thing here. Here, especially with Bhagavan, when we are hearing the pastimes of Bhagavan, it's very important that we hear them and understand them with the Tattva Vichar, the Tattva of Bhagavan, that he is Bhagavat Tattva. Because it is very much possible, because we are all Jiva Tattvas, not just Jiva Tattvas, but conditioned Jiva Tattvas. Just like Bhagavan is like sun, and Jiva is a sun ray, just a sun ray, and that too clouded with mode of ignorance and passion. So when a Jiva that is conditioned is hearing the pastimes of Bhagavat Tattva, it is very much possible that whatever impressions are covering the Jiva, he would hear the Katha in the tint of those impressions. So especially these pastimes of Lord Krishna, because they mimic so much of earthly pastimes. In all the rasas, so much of earthly pastimes, it is very much possible that we might forget that he is Bhagavan and these pastimes are on the platform of Bhagavad Tattva. So that's important to remember. And the example is like this. When the sun is shining bright, midday, noon sun is shining bright, says summer. The sun rays, when they fall on the gutter or drainage, those sun rays has the potency to purify all that dirty water there. And the same sun rays would fall on a garden, on the trees, on the mountains, anywhere else. So the pastimes of Bhagavan, the Shaktiman, are of the same nature. Rasa is different. So these pastimes, either it is killing of an enemy in Vraja, or pastimes with his Antarangika Shakti, pleasure potency, which is Srimati Radharani and all the gopis in the Vrindavan. It is the reciprocation between Shakti and Shaktiman, like that. So that is a different tattva. And if we don't understand these pastimes on this level of tattva vichar, it is very much possible that we don't get the full benefit out of these pastimes. Tattva deham punarjanmana iti mamso iti Arjuna. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha. My janma, my karma, Lord Krishna is saying, they are divyam, transcendental, beyond goodness. They are on Shuddha Sattva. Only when somebody understands these in evam yo vetti tattvataha, only when somebody understands these pastimes on that platform, then they will be liberated. Otherwise, they would just mimic those as human pastimes and they would not get full benefit out of it. And they would not attain liberation. So that's something to remember, especially with the Bhagavad Tattva in the Lord Krishna's pastimes, because they are so humanly. Narasimhadev killing Hiranyakashipu, as transcendental as it is, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the pastimes with the Shakti, Ahladini Shakti, Radha Devi, and her expansions, all the gopis in the Vrindavan, young gopis in the Vrindavan, that Madhurya Rasa or Shringara Rasa, they are on the same platform. Virya Rasa, Bhibatsa Rasa of Narasimhadeva when he's cutting out the, tearing the stomach of Hiranyakashipu apart and digging out the intestines and putting around his neck. Bhibatsa Rasa, Virya Bhibatsa Rasa. That's sunlight. It's the same sunlight even in the Shringara Rasa, when the Shaktiman is having pastimes with his own Shakti, Antarangika Shakti. That is the Tattva Vichar. Yes, Mataji, please continue. Yashoda.
Yashoda,
No, this is
continued.
Dasya Rasa. Yes, please.
Yashoda continued. Then Narsimhadev appeared from a pillar to kill the demon Hiranyakashipu. When he heard this wonderful story, Devaki Nandan's face brightened with a sweet smile. Here, Mother Yashoda tied Krishna to a grinding mortar, which he accepted as great fun. This sacred place is called Yamalarjuna Bhanjana Tirtha. The wonderful kund situated here has very pure water. By fasting and taking bath in this kund, one accrues unlimited fruits and becomes worshipable on Indraloka. This is the temple of Gopishwara, whose darshana will destroy the most heinous types of sins. This Mahavana is very dear to Krishna, who performed many pastimes here. See, here the Sapta Samudra Kupas. In the Puranas, it is described that the performance of Pinda here gives one his desired results.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Here,
Krishna.
Mahavana, still the whole thing is Mahavana. So this is where all the childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna happened before he was 5 years, until Yamalarjuna Leela. Here, after that, they would move to a different place. But here is Gopishwaram, also temple of Gopishwara. And Gopishwara is Lord Shiva, Gopishwara Mahadeva. He tried to enter into the Rasa dance. He did, but he couldn't fit in there. And everybody recognized him, that he's not a regular gopi, but somebody else, an intruder. And then Lord Krishna came and recognized, and he says, "Oh, Mahadeva, I see that you want to enter into Rasa dance, but it is best that you please be a Dwarapalaka for Rasa dance, and that way, only with your permission, any jiva can enter into the Rasa dance." So that is his service, Gopishwara Mahadeva's. Because Mahadeva, Lord Shiva, he still had that, what is that? I am male, I am enjoyer, that kind of abhiman, because he's Lord Shiva. He couldn't come into the mood of gopi, of Vraja, where they are like Aslishava, Padaratam, Pinastamam. That's their mood. Gopishwara Mahadeva could not come into that mood. So that's why befitting his mood is to be the Dwarapalaka of the Rasa dance. And the meaning behind that is, unless we shed off the ego that I am enjoyer, which is the false ego, which is controlled by Mahadeva, Lord Shiva, we will not be able to enter into the divine rasa of the Lord, which needs the mood of I am being enjoyed. So in divine rasa dance, no gopi there thinks that I am enjoying this rasa dance. No, they just think they are just there to give pleasure to Krishna. I am being enjoyed, not that I am an enjoyer. So that's Gopishwara Mahadeva's service to all those souls who have enjoying tendency. They are put outside the divine rasa, but those souls who took Lord Krishna as life and soul and would live just to give him enjoyment, then they will be able to enter into divine rasa dance. And that is guarded by Gopishwara Mahadeva. Yes, Mataji. And somebody else can please continue. The Adivara.
Hare Krishna.
Hari.
In the Adivaraha Purana, it is said, the eighth forest, Mahavana, is always my favorite. A man who visits here can be worshipped in the abode of Indra. Yamalarjuna Tirtha and Kunda are in Mahavana. At this holy Tirtha, Krishna, as a little boy, toppled a cart, breaking the vessels of milk and curd. Fasting and bathing here gives unlimited results. Gopeshwara Mahadeva, the destroyer of all sins, resides here in Mahavana.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So this is all
Thank you.
about Mahavana and all the pastimes that has happened in Mahavana. And here comes Gaurachandra to Mahavana. You please continue, Mataji.
Sri Raghava said, "O Srinivasa, it was here that Sri Chaitanya became overwhelmed in ecstasy, joy upon seeing the place of Krishna's birth. Festival in Krishna's birth festival. In greater love, the Lord became absorbed in dancing and singing, and by distributing his mercy, he captivated the hearts of all. People came from all directions and chanted the name of Hari in ecstasy upon seeing Mahaprabhu. Everyone's eyes shed tears as they exclaimed that this man was not a sannyasi but Krishna himself. By the influence of the Lord's love, people became mad and fell to the ground in ecstasy. Who has the power to understand the activities of Sri Gaurachandra? Mahavana thus became a vast ocean of bliss. Sri Chaitanya remained here, agitated in love, while seeing the deity of Madana Gopala. Who can describe the supernatural and divine pastimes of Mahaprabhu?
Who can describe? Yeah, when Gaurachandra enters the scene, everything changes. Up until now, the mood was Madhurya Rasa. And now this mood is Audarya Rasa. So all these pastimes that Lord Krishna does, especially the Shringara Rasa. So Lord Krishna is, Madhurya Rasa is a word that is generally used for all the rasas that take place in Vraja, starting from Dasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya, and then Shringara. Madhurya means sweetness, where there is no awe and majesty touch. It is also sometimes in the place of Shringara Rasa, then Madhurya Rasa is also used. This word is interchangeable a lot of times. So here it is said that Lord Krishna is Madhurya Rasa outside, Audarya Rasa inside. And we, the Jivas, we are too far, too unqualified to even get closer to that divine rasas, those mellows of divine rasas. So Lord Krishna is not easily approachable. When the Supreme Lord is performing Madhurya Leelas, Madhurya Rasa outside, but relishing Audarya Rasa inside, that Supreme Lord is called Krishna. The same Supreme Lord, when he is performing Audarya Leela outside, Audarya is magnanimous, very big-hearted, just distributing mercy, not seeing any qualification. So much so that you just have to look at Gauranga. That's it. Such an Audarya, just with the darshan, even from a distance, darshan of Gaurahari, even from a distance, would invoke love of Godhead within one's heart. That is the Audarya of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That is what he's giving outside. Internally, he is relishing Madhurya. So this is the avatara of Bhagavan, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, that is more reachable for us. That is why it is easier to be a part of Gaura Leela than the Krishna Leela. Gaura Leela can be, we can be part of Gaura Leela even in this, while we are in this body too. Can we Can somebody say how? This we have discussed in the past. How can we be a part of Gaura Leela, being in this body?
By participating in Sankirtana.
Very good, Mataji. And just before that, what should happen before participating in some Kirtana? You mean to say all of us coming together and doing Kirtan together, some Kirtan, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, that is very good. Just before that.
Japa, Mataji, chanting the name.
Yeah, our personal japa also should be some Kirtana. It's total japa, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has said. With the body, mind and heart, the heart in the Harinam. Yeah, so that is when our japa goes to that depth. It's a process, and that's why we are also in the process. But like Sri Sikshashtakam, it starts at Nam Namakari Bahuda, but as it gets deeper, then that is more like some Kirtana getting condensed. So the answer would be yes. In the japa, with total absorption in the japa, which is some Kirtana, mind, body, and soul, as serving the Harinam. That is some Kirtana, total Kirtana. And yes, coming together and then glorifying the holy name together. This is how we can be the part of Gaura's pastimes while being in this mortal body. So this is our privilege every day. Every day we are given this privilege to be in the part of Gaura's pastime. The individual japa, and when we get together and sing Kirtan, these are the privileged position that is given for us to be a part of Gaura Leela. And through this Gaura Leela, one would pass through the stages of Anarda Nivritta Nishta Ruchi Asakti Bhava, like that. And when we leave this body, when somebody leaves the body in the state of bhava, by that time they are definitely in Gaura Leela, right? When they leave the body in the stage of bhava, prema, then they enter into Bhauma Vrindavan, wherever Krishna's pastimes are happening, and then they will be a part of Krishna Leela. So this is why Gauranga Mahaprabhu is more accessible. The Lord is more accessible to us as Gauranga. Only to take us to his form as Krishna. This is why it is said, no Gaura, K-N-O-W, no Gaura, then K-N-O-W, no Krishna. So if you know Gaura, then you will know Krishna. In other words, if we are able to be in the pastime of Gaura, in the form of some Kirtana in the japa and Sankirtan, as the devotees coming together and singing, and the purification that happens during that time, that is knowing Gaura, and that will take us to Krishna. That is how knowing Gaura will lead to knowing Krishna. And no Gaura, N-O, no Gaura, then there is N-O, no Krishna. So if there is no application of Gaura's teachings in our bhakti, then there is no enough purification to enter into Krishna Leela. Yeah? So that's why N-O, no Gaura, there is N-O, no Krishna. So for us, Gaudiyas, Gaura, the Lord in the form of Gaura, is more reachable. He's not just reachable, he came down and he's running behind us to rescue, not that we are running behind the Lord. That magnanimous is Gaura. So when he enters, the whole scene changes. Whole scene. Everyone's eyes shed tears. By default, they don't have to know that he's Gauranga or Krishna. Yeah, he is the Audarya Murti. Not only shedding tears, but people become mad and fall to the ground in ecstasy. Sometimes, many times it feels like how nice it would be if only we can see this pastime. See how Gaura did the Kirtan, how Panchatattva did the Kirtan, and what was happening to the people around. Yeah, so we will pause here.